Good morning. Today we are doing a presentation on art as an area of knowledge. So our chosen question is, how have new technologies changed the nature and scope of the arts as an area of knowledge? And I'll be presenting with my group, Hana and DongHyun.
Okay, so to answer the question, we have to first understand the question properly. So these are the keywords which we have gathered to better understand the question. New technology is any set of productive techniques which offers a significant improvement over the established technology for a given process. Instead of simply introduction of technology such as cameras, newer technologies such as AI and internet are used in the creation of art. Secondly, change is simply meaning to alter or modify. Thirdly, nature and scope is the extent of the area of subject matter that something deals with or to which it is relevant. In relation to art, the scope can be seen as the effectiveness and how much value art holds, which ultimately affects it as being an area of knowledge, since relevancy of something determines its worth to learn. Lastly, art can be defined as the expression or application of human creative skill and imagination, typically for aesthetic purposes, primarily through works of paintings, sculpture, and even theater. Definition of art is controversial in contemporary philosophy and can be defined as a means of union between men, joining them together in the same feelings. Next slide, please. So we have formulated two thesis statements for and against our question. So new technology. So for our claim, new technologies has become persuasive influence in many fields, with art not being an exception. Technology has had a massive positive effect on the nature of art as an area of knowledge, as it has presented opportunity for it to be demonstrated on a global scale, creating a widespread dissemination of art and culture abroad. For our counterclaim, as mentioned earlier, art is not an example to the consequence of technology. New technologies have unpleasant influences over the nature of art. Technologies have started interfering with the traditional and cultural aspects of art, slowly increasing and robbing of its value through the loss of imagination, expression, and spirit.
So we have divided our claim to analyze it all through a point, evidence, and analysis. So our point for our question is technology has a positive effect on art. Our evidences is a camera, for instance, can capture a wider perspective of a human's imagination amongst reality. The internet providing a wider global scale of the distribution of arts, and then electronic drawing pads can create many art forms come to life or reality at an instance. Our analysis is a camera can capture reality in an instance when displayed to viewers. They can experience life forms in the eyes of the photographer and artist, bringing a new perspective. Internet allows people to see art forms from around the globe that can open their eyes to cultural aspects they would never be able to experience, proving that it's educational. Electronic drawing pads can be the instrument of efficiency for new artists to bring their art forms to life at a faster pace. So if we think about it, for instance, artists all see their art in a different way. And in the sense of photography, a photographer can look through a lens and see something so different than what we can see. Using a camera, they're able to capture it in the moment so that they can show it to us as viewers to see something so much new to our perspective that we've never seen before. And for the internet, we have seen artwork. For example, I've never seen the Mona Lisa in person, but the internet has showed me this artwork that is far across the globe that I'll never be able to see in person, proving that it's educational because it shows us all these many art forms which can be contributing to teaching us about also many different cultures. And electronic drawing pads, amongst what I've heard, a ton of teenagers and readers, not just teenagers, they read books that don't have any designs or what characters are only described in the book, physically their traits, and then they're able to bring it to life at an instance, the use of electronic drawing pads, and they're able to also, again, use the internet to display it to further readers. Next slide, please.
For our counterclaim, our main point is that technology has started to have a negative impact on art as an area of knowledge. So a couple of our evidences include artificial intelligence, where they now have the ability to create art by just analyzing a few specific artworks, and people don't have to actually put in any work. They're all done by technology, for example, machines and robots. Another example is that with computer-generated designs, these artworks can now be easily replaced and modified through technology by altering certain aspects of the art. So digital effects can be added into works, and certain things can be done where it was once impossible to do without technology. Finally, for our evidence, with technological aids, artists can now use digitalized tools to create works with ease, and sometimes people may think that less skills are required. So for our analysis, the use of technology can account for loss of values as emotional and cultural connections are no longer available. So some people may view digital art as an somewhat inauthentic version of the discipline, as thousands are just being manufactured and produced every day. When you constantly alter and produce art, people argue that the originality can be taken away, that it wouldn't be considered art as there are no emotional attachment between people and the art. Another point is that artworks can now be taken out of context through modification. So nowadays, there are a lot of unethical and unconsensual modifications that started increasing. So when artists send their works to corporations and businesses, they're vulnerable to the modifications they undergo in order for it to fit certain criteria. This does ultimately devalue the work and undermine the artistic expressions. Finally, the widespread use of technology can actually cause like repetition for works, devoid imagination, spirit, a loss of creative substances. So when an artist is faced with countless of technological options, they may be overwhelmed and confused, and these emotions tend to be shown in their work. So like I said earlier, the work is repetitive, devoid of spirit, imagination, flames of creativity can die out, imagination can recede. So eventually, what people think is that instead of artists being able to express themselves with their emotions and creativity, it seems like they are simply highlighting the technological capabilities of art. And people may say that if art starts to lose its values, it would affect it as an area of knowledge negatively, as knowledge is meant to be something worthy and valuable to us. Thank you.